ketinye shida nebo taishek kora ngoimen ko kikomeyo in taishek nguna mung'aret nyoshe kekere amu taishek chemakitindoi ko ketinye shida nebo ng'alekab SHA ing Nandi County. Imuch ilipan SHA ak iwe sipitali lakini kelechinin kora ibial kerichek mami kerichek kora in sipitali. Ngiwe mosoriat nguno matinga ilipan SHA ibiale kora. Ketinye shida kora kimeche kemwa nguno ngiwe Uasin Gishu angot ngotom ilipan SHA kinyoi ko kakanda angot mi chito netom kolipan SHA kotakisaru korok kinyoi asinye kolipan SHA baadaye. Nguno ko shida neketinye kabisa ing mosoriat.
Kwa majina naitwa Edna Chepchipsir, mkaaji wa sehemu ya Mosoria. Mimi ni mama mboga. Tuliahidiwa wakati wa campaign 2022 ati watu wenye watapaitika sana ni mama mboga, lakini hole hakuna kitu hata moja tumefaidika. Hatuna hata pahali pa kutupia takataka katika hii Mosoria yetu. Mahospitali sisi watu wa mama mboga na 300 cha mshangao tumia hata nalipanga 750 kweli na changa hiyo 10 mpaka inafika SHA ya 750. Malilio yetu kwamba ni ifikie kwa president wajue, walisema mama mboga wataanzia 300 lakini sasa mama mboga yote wanalipanga kutoka 600. Ya tatu nauliza county government wetu wa Nandi, lini utakuja Mosoria kutuchimbia choo kweli? Wamama wengi wameshikwa na ugonjwa pistula choo hawana pale pa kusaidia. Sasa kweli gavana wetu Mr. Sam, wakati unaenda kuritaya kweli tufanye kitu hata utuchenge choo peke yake. Hatuna hata mahali ni ngumu sana hata kueleza hiyo maneno kabisa. Tumelilia hiyo maneno ya choo ya mwisho. Stima imeenda tena Mosoria. Na hii mwezi wa 8 watoto wetu watarejea kwa mashule ya university. Na kuna wezi wengi tuletee tu hata security. Maji hiyo tumesoea, ukienda hospitali ya Mosoria kila mtu iko na cholera kwa sababu maji ni chafu, hatuna hata tunakunywa ya shimo ni chafu. Kinyesha mvua mingi maji inaingia kwa shimo na pato tunakunywa. Lini kweli tutasaidika? Na hii town yetu imeanza kuwa kubwa, tuna university, tuna KMTC, tuna teachers college, kila kitu. Gavana yetu unapoenda kuretire, kuja utusaidie Mosoria ili tufanye kumbukumbu tu wewe ulitusaidia. Asante sana.
Leo tuko hapa katika kaunti ya Nandi tukiuliza wakaji wa kaunti hili ama jimbo hili kuhusu Kenya ni wapi. Na hapa leo tuko na mmoja wetu kijana mwenzetu. Tuanze na jina lako, unaitwa nani?
Kwa majina nafahamika kama Emmanuel Kirop. Sana watu wanapenda kuniita Manu. Mimi ni mgaji wa Mosoria na mimi pia ni mwanabiashara mchanga katika eneo hili.
Manu, wewe umesema wewe ni mwanabiashara. Wewe unataka Kenya na kaje aswa kama kijana kaunti hili la Nandi?
Okay, I want a Kenya whereby leaders are chosen by merit and not by tribe or being endorsed by any leader who is in a higher position in this country. A Kenya whereby people, leaders are being elected based on their performance, based on their vision in moving this country to a better place in future. The Singapore that we are talking about is not only a name, but it should be demonstrated or what we are working for to make a better Kenya.
Umesema that Kenya you want where leaders are elected by merit, not by tribal. Tutafika aje hapo kama taifa?
Ili tufika hapo tunahitaji watu wapewe fursa katika uongozi wa nchi hii, kuhakikisha ya kwamba watu wote kutoka eneo lolote lile ama kutoka katika jamii fulani wapate uongozi katika Kenya hii. Ningependa vijana waweze kujumuishwa katika uongozi wa taifa hili kuanzia county level, kuanzia ward level. There are some small positions within the leadership of this country that we must have youths as part and parcel of leadership of this country.
Thank you. Tukimalizia, ujumbe wako kwa vijana wenzetu Amerika yako, ujumbe waambia.
Ningependa kuwasihi vijana katika Kenya hii tuweke msingi wa uongozi mbele na wa amani katika Kenya hili. Kila wakati tunapokuwa na uchaguzi unajua sisi kama vijana tuko kipaumbele kwa kila jambo ambalo litakuwa linafanyika katika Kenya hili. So tungependa vijana tutumishe amani, tujitume, tufanye kazi ili tusiwe watu wenye wanaomba katika taifa hili. Na ningependa kuomba serikali waweze kuchukua ile uwezo wako nayo, wafanye empowerment, kuwapatia motisha vijana katika Kenya wafanye biashara ndogo kama hizi zangu zenye niko nafanya hapa. Otherwise, I wish a peaceful and a good Kenya for
the pitch. One of the players in Tigo FC. The Kenya that we have now, we want a Kenya that supports talent. For example, in my team here, we have great players, but their talent is far much better than what people think are. But if I get the opportunity to go outside there, they present themselves, they'll do much better than what we do here. Furthermore, the support and unity of the Kenya can push more students, even youth, in developing of sports and talent that can push our country more further, participating in bigger tournaments. Youths who participate in these football activities or any athletic activities, one, the advantage is drugs can be reduced. Most of the students, they abuse drugs because they are idle. But when they play football, they can reduce those idleness and drugs disappear. Another thing, it's a job opportunity for, if their talent is much better, they can be supported outside the country and support our country. Thank you.
I'm Makai Stanley, member of Itigo location. I'm a Kenyan citizen, and I happen to be with passion with football, the games that I normally learn. Here, when we come here, the Kenya that I want is the Kenya that recognizes talents, nurtures talents from the beginning, from the incubation towards the maturity. This thing of having people going abroad to play football, yet Kenya has the full potential of being able to host, manage, and monetize talents. Kenya now, talents like football in Kenya happens to be something that it looks like it has been ignored from all the way towards the federation, the capital that the young people are being demanded to pay, the referees being demanded to pay for registration of the teams. The government should have done these things. And that is the Kenya we want, the Kenya that supports talents from the grassroots level all the way to the national level. We want a Kenya that when we say we are playing football for Kenya, we play football with passion for our own country, not for the passion of other countries' football like England, the EPL, the World Cup, which it happens that we support teams, yet our own country is not being represented. We believe that this Kenya can do more. This Kenya can have a lot when it comes to having the Kenya on matters of sports and activities that we believe that they can have impact on these livelihoods. We can monetize the talents. We can have people who are very perfect when it comes to playing either football or any other talent, but mostly when it comes to football, most youths are engaged in football. That is because they don't have something to do or they want to stay away from drugs. But eventually, that aspect of being a monetized item or a monetized talent in Kenya is something that we lack. And I believe that the Kenya we want here is that the Kenya that identifies talents and makes talents having something that they can monetize or a payback to the person who is interested in that talent. So I believe this is the Kenya that we all want. And so long as we have players, we have fans, we have the coaches, we have people that they are really interested in this, so that they can stay away from drugs, they can stay away from the idle mind, whereby we believe that the idle mind is the devil workshop. I advise the young people that they engage in this.
Every era comes with a defining moment, a moment when people
It was complete chaos. Then we moved everything to ClickUp. And when we turned on the AI agents, game changer. It's not just AI chat. It actually runs workflows inside your workspace. It feels like we added support without adding headcount. If you're leading a team, open a free ClickUp workspace and try the AI agents.
Shanghai Best Automation Technology Company Limited is an enterprise specializing in producing automatic valve. Its products cover solenoid valve, electrode valve, pneumatic valve, control valve, safety valve, ordinary valve, flow meter, and others. It is the
Here they are for one and all. The Moomins are about to call. Come on and sit down here with me. They're here for you on your TV. They are the Moomins. They are the Moomins. So come with me, give me your hand. I'll take you up to Moomin Land. You can fly just like a bird. You sing the best song ever heard. There with the Moomins. There were 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 the Moomins. Ba 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 ba
The rain was falling on Moomin Valley as though the heavens had decided to empty themselves. It was the wettest weather that anyone could remember.
Good evening. My name is Asbel Kibroi. I went to Kenya as an old boy from Kujusma. being asked, baba yako ni nani? I want a Kenya nikiamka leo isiulizwe town unajua nani? Isiulizwe unajua nani? I want a Kenya nikisoma I'm employed based on my qualifications, not because I know someone, not because I'm told, not because I'm short, not because I'm short, not because I'm dark as I am. Maybe the last Kenya that I want, the last Kenya that I want, where every opportunity, every opportunity, given an opportunity is given an opportunity of the position they hold, irrespective of the position they hold, irrespective of background, and the last background, and the last thing, an inclusive Kenya, an inclusive Kenya to every person. And fair, thank you so much. To every person. Thank you so much.
You are Kenya where Kamchol Cup consumer is Kenya where Kamchol Cup consumer is known. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Fidel. Thank you so much. Good evening, and the congregants. Good evening. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be sitting here. I'm very glad to be sitting having this great conversation. When we sit here before you, doesn't mean we have the monopoly of knowledge. We have the monopoly of knowledge. We don't and think of what to contribute to. Think of what. So the Kenya I dream for today. So the Kenya I dream. You heard that I am the CEO. You heard that I am the CEO of where we do governance and where we do governance and advocacy. And from that background, I have really admired where we have good governance, where we have a leader that holds a position at duty bearer, ensures that every resource ensures that every resource their patronage is used for the good of the people, is used for the good of the people, and that is an accountable leadership and a transparent leadership. I would also love where there is the rule of law. The rule of law is upheld. Everyone is equal. Everyone is equal before the law, no matter status, whether they are wealthy or not, whether they are wealthy or not, equally to everyone. I'd also love to see the socio-economic rights the socio-economic enjoyed equally by everyone, enjoyed equally by everyone. Access to quality and affordable health care. I love to see that for every Kenyan. The women still lose their lives. When they are giving birth in the maternities. I would love to see a Kenya that protects. I would love to see a Kenya that protects every woman and every child. Thank you. At the point of birth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you so much, Sharon. The main point here is inclusivity. The main point there is inclusivity. The young people are not included as much as the young people contribute to around 75% of the population. We are not contributing of the young people on the table. Contribution of the young people on the table. Now we go back to the audience. Now we go back to the audience. I'll take 2 or 3 questions about the Kenya they want. From the audience about the Kenya they want. Continue the discussion. Then so you can just raise your hand. So you can just raise your hand. Tuchukue the Kenya you want. Tuchukue the Kenya you want. Who is ready to tell us the Kenya they want? Who is ready to tell us the Kenya they want?
Hi guys. Hi guys. Tuko poa? Iko sawa. So me the Kenya would like to see. Okay. The Kenya would love to see is a Kenya whereby systems because we've been having problems with our systems, education systems not working, and all the systems. Health. So the Kenya that I would love to see is a Kenya whereby systems are running seamlessly. Systems are running seamlessly and they are working.
Thank you. You didn't say your name? Thank you. You didn't say your name?
Again, my names are Harrison. Joseph. My names are Harrison. Ama ukipenda unaweza niita Pedi. Tuko sawa? Sawa? Yeah. Tuko sawa?
I still need comments on the Kenya. Na kama unaona Kiingereza ni ngumu, Kiswahili pia inawezekana. Ngoma chake pekake ivendi gawa. Ama ngoma chake pekake ivendi gawa. Ai one njule. Haya pale nyuma. Ai one njule pale nyuma.
Hello. Chirchir Yusla. I'm a group of youth for sustainable development, Nandi chapter. So as youth, the Kenya we want, as youth, the Kenya we want is whereby other job opportunities. We have at least when I have opportunities. Maybe at least when I have opportunity, I can create another job opportunity to another youth. And also the Kenya we want is whereby, and also the Kenya we want is whereby my brothers and sisters have stayed inclusive. We have to be inclusive in our anywhere wherever you go, and so anywhere wherever you go. As youth, I only know that anything that we only know for here is anything that we want job opportunities. We want job opportunities. Kindly at least assist your friend. Kindly and also we have a friend. When we say we create when we say opportunities, we create here in Mosoria we have a vocational training center. We have a vocational training center. So we whereby we whereby other people they train on things to do with plumbing. They train on things to do with plumbing. Sisi tunataka ile kazi tunachorea sisi tunataka ile kazi iko ready also it is good. But for plumbing also it is good because ile kazi unaenda kufanya kwa mkono yako. The Kenya we want as youth. The Kenya we want as youth different job opportunities. Thank you. Different job opportunities. Thank you.
Asante sana. Jina yako ndio lisahau pia. Asante sana. Jina yako ndio lisahau pia.
I'm Yusla Chepchirchir.
Amesema anataka Kenya yenye kazi inapatikana. Haya, another person. Kazi inapatikana. Haya, another person.
Good evening everyone. Good evening everyone. Hanson Kirwa. I'm Hanson Kirwa. The Kenya that I want. The Kenya that I want. The Kenya that is corruption free. The Kenya that is corruption free. I know we've come together as a youth. I know we've come together as a youth. Maybe we are fighting for something, or maybe we are fighting that we are for something or looking for. There is something that we are looking for. If we are talking of corruption, we are talking of corruption. Us as a youth, we must condemn this fact. We must call corruption. This fact call corruption. Somebody has talked of if something has been allocated for certain, something has been allocated for certain, let us as youth become examples, as youth and become examples. Condemn anything that is against. Condemn anything that is against these projects and men. These projects and men. And another thing is somebody has mentioned about. And another thing is somebody has mentioned about. We need inclusion. About we need inclusion. You may be asked. Sometimes you may be asked. That is something that needs to be. That is something that needs to be. I believe it was used in 1970. That word was not. I believe it was used in 1970. So let's not come together. So and let's condemn what come is not together right for us. Thank you. And condemn what is not right for us. Thank you.
Your name again, Harrison. Your name again,
Kirwa.
Harrison. Yeah. Thank you so much, Harrison.
Kirwa.
Thank you so much, Harrison.
From this side.
One last
moja
comment
pale,
from this
moja
side.
Pale nyuma, then we can
moja
close
pale,
and continue
then moja
with the
pale
next
nyuma,
question.
then we can close and continue with the next question.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Godfrey. Name is Kipkemei Godfrey. 1 minute to state the Kenya I want. Just take the Kenya I want. The Kenya I want. The Kenya that will accommodate every young person to become every young person to become successful. The Kenya that will automatically absorb graduates once they are from the university. Graduates once they are from the university. A Kenya that will not divide me with my friend that will not divide me because my friend from Mount Kenya because elections are nearing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ruth.
Good evening, everyone.
Ruth.
My name is Ruth Chemurtoi. My name is the Kenya I want is a Kenya that I don't. The Kenya I want is a Kenya that I don't have to pay. Who do I know in order to get a job? Or who do I know in that office or to secure a job? And also the Kenya that I want. And also the Kenya that I want. I don't have to define my originality. I don't have to define my originality. Secure a position. In order to secure a job position. Not just because I know someone. Not just because I know someone. For example, that person may be a Kikuyu, but for example, that person may be a Kikuyu, but I'm not a position because I'm not. I cannot receive that position because I'm not a Kikuyu. So I would really love I want. Is the Kenya that the Kenya I want to describe myself as a I don't have to describe myself as a position, or even to get a seat, in order to get a position, or even to get a seat that I'm vying for. Either if I'm vying from Nairobi, or if I'm vying from Nairobi or Eldoret. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you so much, Ruth. We've talked about several issues. We've talked about inclusivity. We've talked about a Kenya we want that has zero corruption. We've talked about zero corruption. We've talked about accountable leaders. The leaders we are electing accountable. The leaders we are electing accountable. We've talked about a Kenya with employment all the graduates from all the institutions. We've talked about for Kenya with all the graduates from all the institutions. We've talked about and we've also talked about Kenya that has no and we've also talked about now the question is Kenya we all want is Kenya, how are we going to achieve that Kenya? Now the question is we all want and that's why we have these panelists here to help us to understand what are the best strategies, and that's why we are going these panelists as young people to help us to get to understand Kenya we want. What are the best strategies we are going to do as young people, Sharon, being to get this Kenya we want? And I will start with Sharon, analytical chemistry. Yet you Sharon being open an organization whereby you are giving back to the community. You are training young people on skills. Open an organization whereby you are giving back to the community. You are training young people on skills on environment connects between what you study in school and what you are coming to do outside will connect between what you study in school and what you are coming to do outside here.
I am still also trying to navigate through all this the same way everyone else is trying. I am still also trying to navigate through the skill. All this the same way everyone else is trying to understand. How do I connect the skill? How do I connect it with from my what the world, what my nation is able to offer me? You know, right now, how do I the level of unemployment is quite high. What my nation is able to believe. Offer me, you know, right now from the level of unemployment is quite high. Not everyone can be linked directly from the. I really appreciate first that I was able to complete. So and it has shaped me in great. I really appreciate first that I was able in a different way. Complete school. And I want to demystify that thought that see the world in a different way. Have jobs, and I want to demystify that minds and it helps us to think because we do things in a much better way. We do not need running a community-based organization. I wouldn't have done it the way I'm doing it. If I had dropped out, running a community-based organization, I wouldn't have done a CBO the way I'm doing it if I had dropped out. Maybe I have been a civic educator, and part of the things that I'd like to highlight today is the role that we have to play, and part of the things that I'd like to highlight the women in governance, the role that we have to play as citizens, and as the youth, we have the women in duty bearers who are in the executive arm of the government, and apart we have leaders who are in the legislative arm of the government. We have leaders who are in the legislative arm of the government. We have all of them big roles to also play in ensuring that governance is successful. We have one of big roles to also play in ensuring that governance is successful. We have one of it is ensuring that it is not something that's into power. You have the civil duty. It is you have a civic responsibility. You ensuring that you vote in the right person. In the nomination responsibility, in the party nominations, vote in the right elections. In the nomination process, the right leaders into the legislative arm of the government, that is the county assemblies at the county level, the national assemblies in the national government. You also need to ensure that you play your role in holding these leaders accountable. First, trying to understand the role that this leader is going to play, either they're in the executive or in the legislature. And then when you are called upon to participate in public participation processes are where these leaders will come down to you, present budgets to you, show you where they have put their priorities, where your money is going to. Your role there is to show up. Go and look at the budget. Ask the right questions. Once you have seen that budget, ensure that your priorities are captured there. If us as the youth, we want capital for our businesses, we ensure that capital for businesses for the youth is captured in the budget. If we want the right healthcare systems, we ensure that our hospitals are getting the right allocations in the budgets, because where else are our priorities going to be reflected if you do not look at the budget? If you do not take a keen interest in where your money is going to, then you're not going to get your interests being prioritized in government services. So one of the greatest roles is through elections that we have to elect the right leaders, ensuring that we participate in governance processes. And once the budgets have been done, ask the questions on, did your money get used in the right way? Do not fear to ask that question. Did that money that was allocated to the dispensary for maybe purchase of medicine, was it used in the way that Mwananchi had requested for during the public participation? So when you ask that right question, that duty bearer or that person who is handling the resources of the people will not have, will not misuse our funds. So that is what I'd say for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. You've brought the issue of budgets. And I know most of the young people don't surely participate in the budget making process. What do you think what's your advice for the young people in terms of participating in the budget making process from the initial stage to the end?
Fidel, I do not want to crucify anyone who has never participated. Who has ever gone for a public participation here? Nani amewahi enda public participation ya budget? We only have, 1, 2, around 10 hands. I would not crucify anyone for admitting that they have never participated in a budget-making process, because first, getting to a point of even understanding what a budget holds, Fidel, myself, it has taken a lot of education, at least attending meetings like this, interacting with like-minded people, to a point where I understood, I have a role to play, and I have to go to that public participation, go and look at the budget, speak for my people. Why I'm not crucifying you, we are making progress, and we will get to a point where everyone, there will be a time where when we ask how many went to public participation, we will be 99% of us raising our hands in a room. But we are making progress. We are not like 2012, for instance, the day devolution was starting. But we are making progress. There are youth who are really trying to do a lot of civic education to their fellow youth, to women, to people with disabilities. Civic education is what helps that person to understand that it is important for them to go for public participation. It is important for them to look at the budget. I am not crucifying anyone, but we are making progress. And the far we've come, there are very many youth-led, women-led organizations that are seeking for funds that will help us to get to levels where each one of us can comfortably look at budget documents, understand what is an annual development plan, understand how my priorities are supposed to be captured in the budget documents. For instance, my co-panelist, Noelin, is also running a community-based organization. Asbel here is also running one. And I know a number of you in the future will be running others that are going to help us. County governments also have directorates of public participation that at times they put a little budget. Resources are never enough, but we hope that in going into the future, we are going to have more resources pumped into ensuring that the people have the right knowledge to participate in processes that matter to them, because this is where is going to give you that service, the healthcare, the education service that you need. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. You've brought the point of engagement, civic engagement for the young people. For the people online, let's comment, let's ask questions. Your questions will be read here. And if you have any questions, put it online through the Sarah House YouTube channel, Nandi with CV YouTube channel, and also our Facebook channel. Don't forget to post, tweet, and comment using the hashtag to participate. Thank you so much, Sharon. Asbel. You've done a lot of work on accountability. Nandi County is one of the best counties in terms of electing young people. At some point, we had a young governor, a young woman rep, and even a young senator. do you think Nandi can be used as a blueprint of young leadership?
Thank you so much. The answer is yes. Electing young people in leadership and giving young people an opportunity to lead is not the end of leadership. Most of these young people were elected in 2017 and in 2022. But as young people, maybe we might feel not involved in their leadership. But as young people as well, we have a responsibility. Today you are given an opportunity to serve in an office and you expect maximum support from fellow young people. Kumaanisha, uongozi ni mimi na wewe. Giving young people an opportunity is not the end. But supporting them is also part of their leadership. In recent past, most of our young people who are elected are not given space to serve. I was appointed to Youth Senate on 1st of June, 2026. I'm barely 2 months in office, but I have a lot of pressure from young people. Umefanya nini? Umetufanyia nini? Ulisema. Unakula na wadosi. Umelala. I'm just barely 2 months in office. So that means, even as we head to the next election, we can elect 47 governors as young people, 47 senators who are the youth, and 47 women reps. How sure are we, as young people, that these 47 elected governors will deliver and work on the aspirations of the young people? So the question is, we have people who are older enough, but they support the young people. Young people is all about the mentality and the heart to support those people. I might be old enough, but vijana no. I might be young enough, but vijana wenzangu hapana. In 2027, all of us here, we are going to vote. Will you vote? Will you vote Asbel because he's a young person? Or will you vote somebody else who supports the young people? My interests might not align with the youth, but I can be the friend to the youth. And somebody else can be fully youthful, mentally, emotionally, pia physically, anakaa kijana. Lakini akipewa kiti, si vijana wako, vijana wanataka handouts. Vijana wanapewa 100, wanapewa sijui nini. And we have the mentality of the young people. If you meet these leaders, they will tell you, vijana wanaitisha chaktech, pitech, koneje jok, chak kenamtech. Swali ni, will you continue asking for peanuts? We're given 100 shillings today, and that 100 shillings will serve you for the next 5 years. That means 25 shillings per year. We have 12 months. That means you're paid 1 shilling per month. Does it make sense? Vijana wenzangu, does it make sense? It's now time we have honest conversation. Meaningful conversation of the Kenya I want. I want a Kenya that everybody is given an opportunity today, na atakuwa na issue kesho. Aseme, vijana wanataka 100. Invest, kuwa na float, if that is the word they normally use. So that, if you're going to support the young people, I'm privileged to sit in the midst of 2 young ladies. They're youthful. One of them will be elected in 2027. That's the reality. Because 2 of them will never be elected. One of them will be in office. I know the pressure they will get is the same as the one she's sitting in that office. It's good because young people are coming. They're contesting for these seats. It's very motivating. It's very encouraging. Hata pia ukikaa chini hapo, think of, kama mimi sitasimama, one of 2 panelists here who are contesting for those seats will be supportive to support the ideas that you have. I might have an idea, but it can't be implemented by somebody else. But one of them can implement my idea. All of us will never be elected in office. All of us will not sit in those political offices. But you can do something. Leadership is built on a foundation. And this foundation should and must be supported by somebody who has been in that office. Mentorship. Most of our young people, they are elected because they want to be in offices. In Kenya, we have the youngest senator, youngest governors, youngest. But do you think they're given opportunities in those parliaments? They're not given an opportunity, yet we have numbers. We're the majority in our Kenyan population. But ikifika wakati ya uongozi, vijana tunatumika vibaya. It's time we have an honest conversation as young people. You might be from a small village, but you have an idea of what you want to achieve. You might be a leader, but these people will never give you an opportunity. Funny thing about our Kenyan politics, we never give people who have ideas to be in those offices. Tunapenda mtu wa vituko, sarakasi, na vitu funny. But people have ideas, wako na akili, unaona huyu jamaa anaweza fanya kitu. We're not giving them an opportunity. It's time we have an honest conversation. Thank you for this opportunity. This is part of building a foundation. This is part of giving young people a voice. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I didn't expect. I come from a small village. We are never in the map of Kenya, but I serve in an office. That means even the name itself is very hard. It's called Kapkonjusmo. The name might be funny enough, but it's a small village. Even you can be in such an opposition. You can do something meaningful. It's time we have an honest conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aspel. A round of applause to Aspel again. She comes from a very small village called Kapkonjusmo, but it's no longer small because Kapkonjusmo is the home of one football club, a rising one currently, courtesy of Aspel. Makofi tena kwake. We have a question online by Michelle, and Auliza, to be honest, youth view on inclusion is quite distorted. Many want to get to the position for status purposes, but rarely is impact a priority. My question to Noeline, people say we have opportunities for the young people. Some say that some youth are not ready for these opportunities. Some say when youth are given opportunities, they don't deliver. Do you think the young people are ready for the leadership?
First of all, before I answer that question, I want to applaud whoever gave Abel an opportunity to serve wherever he is, because if it is not for Abel, I could not know if Kapkonjusmo exists. So thank you for giving young people opportunity. Yes, back to you, Fidel. Come up with the question again.
The young people, some questions are lingering around about the young people being ready for the positions we have in leadership.
Yes.
And initially you said the Kenya you want is on accountability. You want accountable leaders. Do you think the young people are taking these opportunities to get into these leadership positions? And if not, do we need to upskill the youth? Or do the youth have the skills required for those positions?
Yes. The young people have the skills, but they don't have opportunity. Most of the time, young people are overlooked like they don't have experience. But the reality is, young people, we might lack experience, but we bring fresh ideas, we bring creativity, and we bring innovation to that table that can drive a change that we are in the modern century. If we need to give young people opportunity to showcase what they are, because hata now, walianzia mahali tuko. Watupe tu to gain experience now, by the time we'll be there where they are, tutakuwa tumebobea na tutakuwa na various ideas and something to showcase them. And also it will be a platform to a younger generation wanatufuata pia, ndio wajue why they can do anything regardless of their age. Yes, young people should be given opportunities, and young people are able when given a platform to showcase what they can do.
And what is that step do you want the young people to do to get those positions?
First of all, change doesn't start uko nje. Change starts with you. When you become a better citizen, we are going to have a better country. Now, if you are able to lead yourself, you can able to lead other people. Hasa tujianze sisi wenyewe, start with yourself. Second thing, we as young people, we should stop complaining. Rather, we should be in the system ambayo nimesikia mwenzangu akiongelea. And how are we going to be in the system? First of all, is voting. And when we come to voting, tuachane na mambo ya handouts venye Asbel amesema. To vote in leaders ambao wako na maeneo, wako na ideas, they speak our language. Tuachane na mambo ya handouts. Ya pili, after voting these leaders, I want to reinforce on what my panelists have just spoken about. After voting in these leaders, let us take part in public participation. Kwa sababu hii public participation, hii ni ile part ambayo tunaenda kuongelea vitu ambayo inatuhusu. Na most of the young people do not attend public participation. Nimeattend public participation mingi, but unajipatanga ni wewe peke yako youth, uko kwa hiyo forum. Sauti yangu itasikika kama kijana nikiwa peke yangu, because when we have numbers, we have voices as young people. Ya tatu, after taking part in public participation, let us hold these leaders accountable, because you cannot hold a leader accountable when you are not part of making decision. Now, last but not least, we as young people, if you feel you have a leadership calling, let us take this part. We should stop complaining, ati fulani angefanya hivi, fulani angefanya hivi. Kama uko na uwezo, take that part. And if we have young people who support us and have the same vision kama sisi, tumsupport huyo youth pia. Pia vijana tunafaa kuwa organized. Tusikue watu unaongea hii, mwingine anaongea hii. Tukikuja pamoja na tuongee sauti moja, we can influence our change. And last but not least, job creation, job opportunities hakuna. But mi nasemanga job opportunities ziko kwa mtu mwenye ako very aggressive. We should stop saying hakuna job to create a mindset whereby we stop being job seekers, tukue job creators. Nataka niwaambie kitu. Hata ule mtu alimaliza form 4, anaweza kuja kuemploy mtu mwenye amemaliza university. Kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu ya creativity, na yeye aliona problem na aka give solution to that. Hata hiyo skill yako ya agriculture inaweza kuja kupeleka shamba na utapata do. Sasa kama vijana tuache kucomplain, tukue watu ambao tunapeana solution kwa shida ambayo tuko nayo. And that is how we are going to realize the Kenya we want. The Kenya we want doesn't start with this politician, it starts by ourselves. Thank you.
Makofi kwa Noelin. Amesema tuache kucomplain, to participate. Sindio? So, back to Sharon. You've been engaging young people and women mostly on these issues. What are the main issues you think should be sorted among the young people and mostly the women and PWD that will propel us to achieve that Kenya we want? Those issues. The issues you've been the engagements you've been doing in the community. You've gotten those issues. I know you have them. What are those issues, and how do you think we should maneuver those issues and to achieve the Kenya we want?
All right, thank you so much, Fidel. We started by saying that right now, where everyone is at, we want opportunities for everyone. We want a Kenya where everyone has equal opportunities, whether you are a woman, whether you are a man, whether you are a youth. We want equal opportunities for everyone. If one wants to do business, they have the best business environment. If one wants to pursue their studies, they get access to affordable and quality education. If one wants to, whichever thing that someone wants to chase, it is a dream that we have the right systems. The systems that are going to present to us the right environment to pursue every dream, irrespective, whether, whichever dream that the women, the youth, or the people with disabilities have. So it still goes back to having the right systems. How do we have these systems? Who runs the systems? Who are the people that call the shots? How do we get these people? It is us who determine the people that are going to lead us, that are going to make the policies, the laws, the budgets. You know, every decision depends on the laws that guide it, the budgets, you know, whether we have the right resources or not. So I would say the kind of things that we really want to see is budgets going into the needs of the youth, budgets going into reflecting the needs of the women, budgets reflecting the needs of the people with disabilities. Because if resources are not allocated, nothing will be done. If there are no laws that guide resources into those needs, nothing will be done. So it still comes down to having the money and having the environment, the right environment, you know. And once we have put resources there, we protect that resource to be used well so that nobody squanders it, nobody misuses it. That is ensuring that we hold we ensure there is accountability in the use of that resource. We ensure we follow every coin into the right use. Yes.
Thank you so much. To Asbel, umesema Kapkonjusma is a very small village in Nandi County, and the product of Kapkonjusma is now addressing the nation through this dialogue. What's your comment about the question unaulizwa babako ni nani? Unatoka wapi? And how do you think as young people we are going to be the breakers of that line? So that our children wasipitie the same thing we are going through, whereby your skills and your personality is seen more than where you come from.
Thank you. Swali huwa inanisumbua sana. Nikisema naitwa Asbel Kimboi, unaambia wewe ndio serikali. Number 2, nikisema natoka Kapkonjusma, they ask you, bununga ulat. Ngani mi serikali ni bunulingwang. To our leaders in power, those in positions, allow me niseme kitu viongozi. Ukipewa nafasi leo, serve the people. You're serving somebody like me, mwenye ana jina. You're serving somebody like me, mwenye ana mwili. You're serving somebody like me, mwenye ni mweusi kama mimi. All of us hatukupenda kuzaliwa penye tulimezaliwa. Wazazi wetu maybe hawana majina vile wanataka. But please serve the people. For those people who will be elected in those offices, serve the people. Usiulize wewe ni nani, unatoka wapi. Sawa sawa? Usiulize unatoka wapi. Because hata wewe pia ulijenga jina. Ulijenga somewhere. Give us some space. Tujijenge pia. Itafika siku. But ukifika hapo pia usiulize ibonu. Baba ni ngungo. Mama ni ngungo. Majamenyo. Takijamenyo. Takisikijo limeje. Lakini maginya nafasi na. Serve the people. To the people from the small villages kama yetu. Never give up. Jitume. Lakini the word jitume is not all kujituma. Be smart in what you do. Build networks. Connect with people. Tafuta watu who align, your interests and ideas align. So that hata kesho ukiambia ibano ile itaba ulinyo agomiano magano jajechu. Because we're heading to meishi dunia that most of people in power and in leadership, they consider penye unatoka. Kama leo nimevaa shati kama hii. Hii shati inakaa aje? Inakaa ya nani? Inakaa ya nani? Ndio Kenya tunataka, yenye ukivaa shati kama hii, usiambie wewe ndio umekula vizuri. Kama uambie si mnafanana fulani. This is just a Kenya, everybody is given an opportunity. Juu nimevaa shati naambiwa wewe unafanana fulani. Sikujua tunafanana hadi nimeambiwa hapa. The same narrative tunaambiwa that the young people are the enemies of themselves. Ndugu yako ama kijana mwenzako ni adui mwenzako. Imefika wakati tubadilishe tabia na mwenendo. Leo nikisimama hapa, si kijana mwenzangu ndiye ananipiga vita. The challenges you are facing is the same challenges na face. Leo ukipatikana na shida, the only person atasimama na wewe ni your age mate na mzazi wako. Wangapi kama sisi vijana tasimama na ndugu yetu in a positive way? Because pia kijana akipewa nafasi afanye vile amefanya, apatikane na makosa, sisi vijana wenyewe ndio tunasema kijana wetu. Kwa mfano, mtu akiiba, aliiba kwa niaba ya vijana. Vijana, nikiiba leo, niibe kap conjusma, mtakuja kusimama na mimi juu nimeiba? Au mtasema huyu kijana ajipange kivyake? What am I trying to say? We need to be honest. Kama ni mbaya, sema ni mbaya. Tusidanganya, tuambiane juu ni kijana mwenzetu ameiba, tusimame na yeye. Ama tuambiwe, si mnaacha ndugu yenu. Kama umefanya makosa, beba msalaba wako. Most of the developed countries that tunajivunia kama Kenya kusema we want a country like this, their systems in our work. It favors them than us. But sisi, we're heading somewhere. And the people to change Kenya ni mimi na wewe. Ni mimi na wewe. Tusaidiane kujenga taifa letu. Tusaidiane kujielimisha, kujifunza, and share ideas and mentor one another. To the young people of Kenya, imefika wakati ya kuambiana ukweli. Kama unafanya kazi, tuseme asante na uendelee na huyo moyo. Kama ufanye kazi, tuseme ukweli, tia bidii, ufanye kazi. Kwa hivyo, sisi kama vijana tulio hapa leo, tumepata nafasi kufika hapa. Wale pia mko online, tusaidiane kujenga taifa letu la Kenya kama vijana. We need to build a country where transparency and accountability is a culture. The way we believe in our cultures as Africans. It's time now we believe wizi is also bad. Ikuwe a culture. Not a mistake, a culture. Ukiiba ni wewe. It's time we eliminate such beliefs and mentality that kuwa ukipewa nafasi leo, tumia vizuri. Kutumia kujinufaisha, kujijenga na kunyanyasa wengine. Kama sisi wenye hatuna majina, we come from small villages, yenye haitambuliki. Never give up as a young person. Jitume, tushikane pamoja, tujenge kaunti yetu, tujenge Kenya hii, na pia tuhamasishe vijana wenzetu. Because shilingi 100 will never change your life. The failed system will never change your life. And remember, youthful ni matatu. Ujana ni moshi. Leo wewe ni 32, next year utakuwa 34, ile mwaka ingine utakuwa you are no longer youth. Hiyo opportunity utaipata siku nyingine. Tumia nafasi wako kama kijana. Especially to the boy child. Ukifika 35, the only thing utangoja ni ufike 70 years upate pesa wazee. But for the ladies, bado wako na enterprise fund ya women, bado wako na women enterprise fund. They still supported as special interest groups. Sisi vijana tukifika 35, tunangoja tupate pesa wazee. Tumia nafasi wako kama miaka haijapita. Asanteni sana, tuendelee kujielimisha, tukuwe na mjadala, meaningful and impactful conversation.
Thank you so much, Asbel. Before Noelin, Sharon to add a thing or two.
Thank you, Fidel. I realize that before you move from the issue of the youth, because I know you're going to move to another thing, the youth and the readiness for power, and whether we are ready to be leaders, and whether we have won the trust of the people to this point, especially now that in Nandi we have tried the young people. We have tried and seen. I just thought, right now our nation has a median age of around 20 years. Did you know that? That we have a very young population. A majority of Kenyans are below 20 years. Mulijua hivo? Ama ndio mumejua? Sasa mumejua, si ndio? And I wanted to ask you, our energy has been demonstrated really greatly in many negative ways. For instance, through maandamano. So we have seen a lot of energy. We have seen a lot of organization. We have really organized, maybe in protests. We have demonstrated a lot of knowledge. You know, we are in the era of artificial intelligence where people are very knowledgeable. You have your phone, you have your AI tools that give you any type of information that you need. What exactly do we still need for us to say we are ready for power? What are we lacking? What do you think we are lacking? You have the knowledge. We have the energy. We are educated. We have demonstrated that we can organize and think in one line. I do not know what kind of readiness you still need. Another factor that I would want you to go home thinking about is the public debt that we have right now. You know, the income that we have in Kenya, more than 60% is going to pay debts. Did you know that? The income that we're generating. Who is going to pay that debt? Who? Is it our parents? So why do you want to wait for another time before you take control of the direction of your nation? That is what I wanted to mention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Kuna kitu moja wamesahau kusema. The issue of young people kukua very cheap for the politicians. Si ni ukweli? That's one comment I want Noelin to say before we move to the next topic. Comment about the young people being cheap, being bought easily by politicians, being used as goons, being used for violence, instead of being used for issues like policy making and leadership.
That is true, Fidel. Young people are being used as goons. They are being given handouts to chaos, and they are being paid because of frustration, Fidel. Our young people hawana pesa, hawana kazi, and the easy way to get money is through politician. But today as young people, because we are having this conversation, 2027 is approaching. Tukatae politics za handouts because hiyo ndio inatumaliza. Unaweza pata umevotia mtu kwa sababu ya handouts, but priorities zake na zako align kwa kitu ambayo inaweza kuchange. Sasa si vijana 2027 tukae rada, kama mtakula handout, nyinyi mkule lakini mjue mahali mtapiga kura. Mupigie mtu ule ambayo whatever, akona zile vision, akona agenda mzuri ambayo itakujenga kama kijana, lakini tukatae handouts. Let us not vote because of handouts. Let us vote because of ideas. Let us vote because of a vision of somebody, and let us vote for a leader who is coming to become a solution maker to the problems ambayo tunazipitia kama vijana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noelin. And I'll allow us to move to the next part of the discussion before I come back to the audience. Now, we've talked about the Kenya we want. Then you've told us how we are going to achieve that Kenya we want. Now, let's bring the aspect of political parties. Do you think political parties, this is now up to you, Noelin, do you think political parties is a channel or a tool that can be used to make these issues that you've mentioned and also the audience have mentioned into policies that can be used to improve employment, to create jobs for the people, and also reduce these cases of nepotism and issues that you've all raised?
Thank you, Fidel. Most of the young people wanaona tu kama political parties ni tool ama ni vehicle ya campaign, but political parties plays a bigger role in policy and giving solution to the problem that we are going through. First of all, political parties iko na influence ya make change kwa sababu political parties inatuongelelea, political parties ina decide nani atakuwa pale kwa ballot box. After deciding nani atakuwa pale kwa ballot box, pia ina come up na agendas, ina come up na bills, ina come up na manifestos ambayo inakuja kusolve problem yetu. For example, kama political parties inaongelea issues to do with young people, whoever atana kuvotiwa in through that party, kumaanisha atakuja ku make sure hizo ideas ama hizo issues imekuwa implemented, and because itaenda pale wata draft bills. Political parties pia inasimamia kwa kusponsor bills, inasimamia kwa kusponsor whoever atakuwa elected. Na whoever watakuwa na big numbers pale bungeni, hawa ndio watakuwa na voice ya kumake laws na kumake policies ambayo inaweza to influence kama vijana. Na each and every issues ambayo tunaongelelea haiwezi kuwa implemented kwa ground kama si policy. Policy is a document that inaongea kutuhusu ama ina come up na activities, alafu ina influence pesa ambayo inakuja kumake easy activities ikuwe implemented. Kama for example UDA, coming up with affordable housing, it was a policy. Kama haingepitishwa bungeni, kumaanisha nini? Haingekuwa implemented. Na kama hatungekuwa na numbers ya wabunge kupitisha hiyo nini, kumaanisha hainge make. Si mnajua ni it is the majority have it. That is it. Political parties play a bigger role. And we as young people, we should also join political parties ndio tukue na sauti yetu kwa sababu ina play a bigger role. Ningetumia example lingine Fidel. It is very sensitive but financial bill. Si mulikataa financial bill? Si watu walikataa? Lakini si ilipita? Ilipita kwa sababu gani? It is because of political parties. Mtu hawezi enda against the political party. Mnakuanga discipline. So political parties play a bigger role in influencing whatever we want. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Noelin. Just to be clear, this non-partisan conversation, ukisikia UDA, ukisikia ODM, wherever the party, it doesn't mean this conversation is affiliated to any political party. So the second question goes to Asbel. When we always conduct nomination, when political parties conduct nominations, young people are always locked out from voting because they are not registered as members of political parties. And you've noticed that in those instances, the people who will be elected or nominated from the political parties are those who are over 35, mostly. Now, what do you think we should do as young people? Should we register? Should we join the political parties? Welcome.
Thank you so much. Vijana mlio hapa ndani. How many political parties do you have in Kenya? Many. Many is also a number. How many of us are in political parties? Any political party of your choice. Thank you. We're heading to the next election. When is the nominations for the political parties? March of 2027. How many of us here are members of any political party that will contest in the next general election? Thank you so much. Now, wale wengine, please join any political party of your choice. Allow me share something. Political parties shape the leadership that we have. National Assembly of Kenya and the Senate of Kenya have members of political parties and members of independent. Wakati ya nominations, vijana are not participating. From the data that we have, maybe you can check online, most of the young people, they believe that nomination ya wazee. Sisi, tunasema tuko kadi, which is okay. But wakati ya kadi, You are given an option. Ukienda kwako leo, kama utaki sukuma, sema wacha nitafute nini? Managu. Because you have an option. That is the same to political parties. If you elect Asbel today, na chama, sijui nitumie chama gani? Chama A, and you elect somebody else there from chama B, kadi yako itatumika during the general election peke yake. So you'll have an option between the worst of your choice and the worst of your choice. You'll choose obvious, you'll choose the worst. Because wakati ya nominations, the wazee, the so-called wazee, na kina mama, unasema nyinyi mwendi, they vote for you. Even kutoenda polling station is part of voting. Because somebody else will vote on your behalf. Wakati ya nominations, the highest person who akona votes mingi is the winner. Kuna limit. Naweza kuwa na 20 votes, huyu akuwa na 18, huyu akuwa na 17. I will be the winner. That means hata watu watatu can nominate someone to be that party and contest in the general election. So imagine all of us hapa, we join political parties and push one of our own. Maybe ni kijana, maybe ni mama fulani hapo anajituma kabisa, unaona ako na idea, maybe ni mzee fulani. You push him or her. Atapata nominations? Atapata? Lakini ukingojea August, utapewa mama, utapewa kijana, utapewa huyo. Mama apita hapo. Wa UDA, maybe. Fulani aingie na chama ingine na ingine. And because ulinyao ligeleni suiteme, you will elect. Because una option. So option inaanzanga wapi? Nomination. Sisi kama vijana. From the hashtag here, ukiona to participate. Please join a political party of your choice. Kama unataka chama fulani, because in Kenya, every party has got an ideology. Kuna chama ina support tu purely idea yako. Juu chama yangu I support idea yako, you can choose any political party and join. *509#. Check your political party. If you're any political party, you can shift from party A to party B to party C to party D. Of your choice. Last thing. In Nandi County, the dominant party is obviously the one party. Are we limited to join any political party? Are we limited? Allow me again to tell you something that I learned just yesterday. In Nandi County and in Kalenjin land, we have only political parties from the 4 political party leaders of the Kalenjin land. 4 of them. 4. 3 men and 1 lady in Kalenjin land. Mesikia vizuri? 4. In Mount Kenya, every county has their own party. Former governors have their own party. Former senators have their own party. Sitting MPs have their own party. Of all the political parties in Kenya, 4 of the majority parties in Kenya are locally here. Are we limited to join any political party? If your party doesn't support whatever you think you can be, form your own party. Chama ni kama it's a fear, ni gari na songa from one place to another. No political party has been formed in Kenya to be in opposition. Most of the political parties are formed to be in power, to be in leadership, to form government. Now, walisema, if you can't sit on that table, you are not on the table. When the menu. Na vijana, sisi ndio menu. Sisi vijana ndio menu. Political Parties Act allows parties to have young people in their party leadership. How many of us here are in any political party? party leadership. Ama wewe, sisi tunakuja tu wakati ya nominations, we nominate lead people, they go. We have a responsibility to join political parties, to be in political parties leadership, to be in political parties top positions, party leaders, SG, youth leader in that political party. We have farmers, we have business community, we have nini. Ama iwezekani? It's possible. You can be in any political party and join the party leadership. As I wind up, next year, you'll see people coming to ask for votes. One of our panelists amesema, vijana tuache handouts. Don't just join a party because you want to be elected. Join a party to shape that party. Join a party to give leadership and direction. I'm a member of a party. A funny party, maybe. But it's my party. It's my choice. Because they're giving opportunity to young people. A youth leader is from somewhere. A women leader is from my county. Somebody else is very supportive when it comes to matters young people. We have parties that support your idea, your ideology. That time, join a party, participate. Nominations next year March. Usingoje upigiwe simu kuje. Take bold responsibility, mobilize fellow young people, wakuje nominations. Because if all of us today tuamue, tuseme fulani tosha, apate nominations, it will be very simple kwenu wakati ya tuko kadi, that is August, akuwe elected in that office. Our parliaments, iko na only two sides, the majority and the minority. Kuna mtu wa independent, kumali maandikwa independent members. That means some decisions are not made independently. You're either in a party, you're either in government or in opposition. Majority or... So today, ukienda nyumbani, choose where you want to be. Walio wengi ama walio wachache. Because ukiingia katikati hapa, you can be swayed anywhere. That means the ticket might be independent, but you are not independent yourself. Sawa sawa. For those who are going to contest in those political parties, all the best. Na ukipata nafasi pia, shape that party. Usilalie masikio, usiachie wengine kuwadominate. Be part of those people who are making decisions in that party. Sawa sawa. At least in Nandi County, we have people who are active members of political parties leadership. And thank you to those political parties for giving young people an opportunity to serve in those offices. As the people of Nandi County, on behalf of the young people, maybe some that I represent, I say thank you to those political parties for giving young people. To those parties, hawana viongozi. It's time for you to wake up. Give young people an opportunity. And to the young people again, no one will give you an opportunity. Swali utaulizwa, unajua nani? Najua ujui mtu, jitume, uingie hapo ndani, change that thing. Hata mimi sijui mtu, lakini nataka mwingine mwenye mtu akuja wapi? Join those political parties. It's time for all of us to be in a party. Party of your choice, *509#. Thank you so much. And next time, I hope all of us will be in political parties. Asante.
Thank you so much, Asbel. Asbel aliuliza swali moja. Tuko na political parties ngapi Kenya? Hakuna mtu alijibu. Currently we have 91, si ndio? We had 93 as of last year, but 3 were suspended. We have 91. But guess how many under registration? 20? Around 24 political parties under registration. na mwesema Kalenjin tuko na 4 peke yake. So in that regard, Sharon, your question is, now we've seen the importance of political parties. We've seen how to join political parties. Now, could you maybe elaborate the influence the political parties have on the budgets, on the laws we have in this land, and also on the policies that affect the young people of Kenya?
All right. I think Asbel has done a really great job in highlighting how political parties play a key role in shaping the decisions affecting the people. When I was, in fact, up to maybe 5 years ago, I didn't really understand the role that political parties plays. I didn't really understand the way, at least to this point, I have understood a little bit. You know, I don't know what I used to think for sure. And right now that I'm running, I am a member of a political party. And I have really understood fast that even the manifesto, you know, most of the things that we are going to implement when that time comes, when you vote me as your women representative in Nandi County, the manifesto that I'm going to implement is majorly guided by the party, the political party. It is in what is captured by what the party stands for. It is reflected in the priorities that are stated out in the political party that I will be vying in 2027. So I have, at least now, I really understand that parties play a really key role. That's why we came here today, to help us all read from the same page, so that we understand that first we really need to be part of these political parties. One thing that is very common in Nandi County, once we have done the nominations, ile wakati ya August, tunaenda tu kupitisha yule wa chama, si ndio? Like my friend was mentioning that we do suit kutoka pale chini mpaka, you know, the highest office. We are very likely to do, you know, people that have been nominated by the party. And we realize that kama party ina play your role ya kupresent our candidates, na wakitucheza, wakitupatia mwizi, do you ever think of that? Because the moment we get to the general election, we only have that option that has been presented to us by the party. And we rarely participate in the selection, in the nomination of that candidate during the party primaries. How many have ever participated in the party primaries? Let me see by show of hands. Mumeenda kuvote ile ya April. That's a good number, although it's still a minority. So this conversation is very important. We realize that first, we really need to be part of this political party so that we are updated. You know, you cannot have interest in participating in the nomination if you're not in the political party. So whenever they announce for the nominations, you go there, you participate, you make sure that you're presenting the right candidate for election, for the general election, so that you're not part of the process ya kupresentia watu an evil versus an evil, the way Asbel was putting it. Because if party A presents to us somebody who doesn't have integrity, party B presents to us someone who puts their own interest before the interest of the people, party C presents to us a thief. You know, you are just going to vote the one that your party has presented most probably. And maybe the candidates that were left out during the nomination process were the ones who had the right values, were the people who are going to uphold the rule of law, were the people who are going to ensure that they have an accountable leadership. So where the party meets with the needs of the people is ensuring that they nominate the right person, that person that is going to ensure that your coin is used adequately, that person that is going to bear the dream that ensures that the right law is passed that will meet the need of the people. So also in Parliament, like my co-panelist had mentioned, these people are going to vote in line with the party interest. If there is a law that needs to be passed, you know, those caucuses that are going to be formed, it's mostly along the party interest. So let us just ensure that we participate in the processes. We make sure that that person that is nominated has the right integrity and is going to use those monies that belong to the people right, and even pass the right laws that protect the people and ensure that the interests of the people are taken care of. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Just to remind you, and those watching or following us online, the hashtag remains to participate. Let's ask our questions. The last part will be to move to get now the questions from the audience for the panelists. As you prepare your questions, let's hear something from Noelin. Then you can come to the audience.
A lot have been talked about the political parties. For me, I want to, as Bella have just said, sisi tuingie political parties, sindio? But my urge to you as young people, tusiingie political parties kwa sababu husband ni youth, tusiingie political party kwa sababu husband ni mkale. Let us join our political parties because it solves our problem and it is on our best interest. Political parties is just a bridge between the government and the people. And when our political parties win, that means wako in power. And what does it mean being in power? When they make law, we follow. They decide where and how money can be allocated and the priorities on how money can be allocated. And last but not least, they make policies that influence our life. So wakati tunaenda kujoin political parties, tuingie political parties that align with our interests, ndio tunaweza pata the Kenya that we want when we join hands together. Thank you.
Somebody could be wondering, so there's maybe a party that has won the elections, and then maybe there's one that has gone to the opposition. That one also still has a role to play, because I know most of us are members of different parties. So in case your party will be maybe an opposition party, it still has a role to air the concerns of the people. And when you do good, when you're a strong opposition, you ensure that you push the government to account for every coin. You have played a key role in ensuring that people get services. So even if it doesn't win and it goes to the opposition, it still has a key role in ensuring the needs of the people are met. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the panelists. Now, it's your time for the audience to ask the panelists the questions. You can raise your hand. The mic will be brought to where you are. You can start there.
Hello guys, I'm Shadrack Kimtai. Tumeongelea sana about handouts, and I really support. And I think there is a way of doing it. First of all, I want to thank the panelists and the planners who they plan this. Indeed, this is Kenya we want. Yeah, I want to say that about handouts. There is a way of doing handouts. I think handouts are not bad, but the way of doing it is bad. Yeah, let me repeat it again. I want to thank the panelists and the planners. Indeed, we are in. This is the Kenya we want. I had my colleagues talking about handouts, and handouts. Indeed, I really support handouts. Let me burden myself. Handouts. I think handouts. Handouts. I don't. Ajantumia Kiswahili. Sorry for that. Handouts. Kwa ukweli, the way of doing handouts ni ile. I think I have a solution of doing handouts. May I support handouts, and I have a solution. The way of doing it is that. So, jinsi ya kufanya handouts, we have done one with Eagles Women Group, Noelin, tulichukua kuku kama handouts, and we gave na tukawapatia farmers the kuku kama handouts, and I think that's the way to go. I'm sorry. I think I'm shy.
Thank you, Shadrack. The second question. And when you ask your question, please direct directly to the person you are directing the question to. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Makai Stanley. Thank you, the panelists and the planners of this planners of this event, but we are here for the Kenya we want. I have questions concerning, one was inclusivity. When we talked about youths voting or participating in elections or even the party nominations. One thing I have problem with this is that are we as youths given the ability to get the leaders, or we are giving them power? I have seen places whereby these people get into these places whereby we vote them under the manifesto. They came back, instead of protecting the youth, they are the one destroying the youth. These handouts are not being demanded by the youth, but they become the right if it is something that is made a normalcy. If this is the Kenya we want, how are we going to take that? If we are going to include youths in the handouts as a normal routine, and then we want to say that is a problem. It can never be a problem if it is a normalcy. That is one. Secondly is that there is democracy and there is elections. Democracy is willingly, but elections is coming and telling us about a leader. That is when it comes to party. I'm not saying that we are not going to be partisan in party politics, but I like when parties does what we call participation first. But if a leader, the previous elections we had that one leader from Nandi Hills, whereby his certificate was, and the people were forced to get the leader, the top leadership of the party wanted. Is that democracy? That is a lot of questions that we want to know. If that is being inclusivity in the party politics, or we are going to take the party politics are the party decisions of the owners of those parties. Another question I had was that when we talk about the Kenya we want, and we bring in mind the issue of job, are we schooling for jobs or we are schooling for knowledge? What are we going to do with knowledge? To go to open doors and seek jobs, or we want to create those jobs? Are you making us vulnerable or able? There is the ability to use this knowledge, and there is that vulnerability to use that knowledge, because you want to give me and again colonize me with that knowledge. That is one thing that we youths are now getting it tough to handle. If we are going to get it, and the enablers of the environment whereby we can do entrepreneurship, we can do agriculture, we can do business, we can do even a lot of things, including those jobs, we can get employed in those places of employment, and we cannot have that peace at those places, then that is not the Kenya that we want. I think as the panelist, those are my few questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next one.
Thank you so much. Nandi power. Munataka power? Nandi power. Comrades power. Asante sana. Mimi naitwa Jackson Kibet from around here. I'll be very much brief for the interest of time. My able panelist, I think we are trying to have a very good conversation here. And I want to thank God and all of us for organizing such a very good time to come and talk with the people even from this far Nandi. When I was just seated here and listening to very good conversation that we were having from our panelists, it reminded me of Ole Kulet in his book, The Blossoms of the Savannah. I know most of us did that book. And in that book, Ole Kulet is airing out how Resian and Tayo, and more specifically Resian, how he was very committed to the end when we all of us saw change against the FGM in Nasila. So today again, when I was just seated here, I also thought of a verse in the Bible, the book of Jonah. In that book of Job, Jonah is actually going to preach to Nineveh in the book of John. So when he's going to preach in that city of Nineveh, because it had already been so bad, things were not normal again. God was so angry with those people, and he was going to punish all of them. Jonah is actually in the boat going where? To Nineveh. But on the road, he changed his mind and he wanted to go where? To Tarshish. All of us know how that story ends. And at the end of the day, Jonah was being given a lift inside a fish up to Nineveh, where God had already wanted him to go and do the mission. Today, I want to tell us that we've all agreed that party is our vehicle that will take us to that change which we need. And just like Ole Kulet in his book, and just like Jonah here and God, we have a civic duty as a country. And I normally say, for good reason, the punishment given to good people who don't participate in governance and politics of their country, the punishment given to them is to be ruled by fools. I don't know if there is any one of us here who wants to be ruled by a fool. And that is why we must take part fully in the nomination process by being in a political party and even voting for the right leaders, if not us, during the general election. 2027 is coming. People will come to all of us with very sweet words. They'll come, hata wengine watatumia picha mzuri. They'll do a very good picture. Na wasema huyu anakaa mrembo for us to vote for them. Are we still going to vote that way? Venye imekuwa ikifanyika? Or we are going to make a change this time round? So mimi sina mengi sana. I'm very much happy when I see all of us coming up and taking part in this process. So let's be in a political party. Tujaribu kusukuma mambo yetu ya youth, because the one whom we are going to elect to nominate, he may not be a youth, she may not be a youth, but at least he reasons with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
thank you, Jack. They say bad leaders are elected by people who don't vote. Okay, next question.
So my name is Fabian Kimgetich. I'm a resident of Nandi County. So the question have come from the panelists, and we have came up with two reasonable questions that we have to ask ourselves. Number one is about the very question is about the handouts. That is not very. I've listened to one of my friends here saying that giving out checks is a handout. That's not handouts. Correction, it is empowerment to the way we come. So let us correct about mia, chwani, to chicken. Those are very different parts. That's not the way we are going. The Kenya we want is about very becoming democratic and being very sharp in about decisions we are making. It's not all about youths they are supposed to be even not used as even, there is this, this scenario is very, this scenario, okay, this scenario where you have to come, Chapachi tugulos, yani kita bi ngoret yun sige ganyi tugu man chabuan. Wani mamia. Ang kinampakal chatang mamia ako na. So empowerment nito often handouts. Yun ki kituento na make out apa. the second thing is about to participate. So, Nandi County, enye kila mtu tunajua, hii party nayo, kama huko ni kama huko, unaona. So, kitu tuna challenge leaders wenye wanakuja. Hii ni mbaya, acha niwaambie ukweli. So, hatuwezi kaa ni kama tunapumbazana hapa. So, the key note about we are going to join parties na hakuna kubembelezana. Mulete, simuona difference. Simuona yenye imefanyika juzi hii ya Olkalao. Ona, walete sasa. Haya, ndio naambia handouts na ni kitu tofauti. So, wacha zikuje. Mutulete.
Fabian harakisha.
So, I will let me, okay. So, let us remember to party. So, we are going to join parties here because we are very determined people, young people, very sharp. I can see very sharp people looking at me very sharp. Hivyo ndio nitaka. Hata party ingine unaweza anzisha party yako na unakuja hapo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Papa. Mpige makofi. I'll take the 3 questions. Sawa. 4. Then we close.
Thank you. Is this the Kenya that we want? I think that is the conversation that we are having. My name is Goliath, all the way from greatest village, known as Kapkonjusma. My question calls to public participation. We are talking about public participation, and we are engaging ourselves basing to some point on the Kenyan Constitution, default of government. We talk about the default of government. We are having counties. We are having wards. But why are we saying that we should have a participation when someone from Kapkonjusma has to go all the way to Kapsabet for public participation? Why don't we just engage the people from Kapkonjusma within Kapkonjusma for that public participation? Number 2, we are saying that we should join parties. Is this the parties are within the manifesto of employment? These people, even the UDA, they promise that they will give us the job opportunities. Then, but we are the one now without employment. And we need to join the parties with those manifestos that will get the employment. Is it the employment of importing people to Saudi Arabia? Employment of exporting people to Qatar or other parts of countries? Is that the manifesto that we saw in the political parties? That is, in fact, when we say about those people who are suffering in those countries, it is no longer just getting jobs, but it is in slavery. We don't have jobs in Kenya. We are learning, we are getting the bursaries, but at the end of it all, there is no jobs. Then the president tends to take us to other countries. Is that the Kenya that we want? Are we joining the parties for us to be exported to other countries? Thank you.
Thank you so much. That gentleman, pale nyuma, alafu hapa mbele. Huyo tu. Huyo.
Thank you very much. My question is to the panelists on political parties. What can be done to caution these political parties from becoming instruments ya kukawanyisha watu, instruments ya kugroom oligarchisms and goons, and also ni nini inaweza fanyiwa these political parties so that isiwe kitu ambayo viongozi wanaitumia ku make the youths vulnerable, because tumeona wengi wanasema tumeenda kwa hii chama ndo tupate kitu kidogo. So to the panelists, utuambie ni mikakati inaweza wekwa ili kuweza kuchunga this small or big political parties from becoming instruments to create divisions in Kenya. Thank you.
Okay, that gentleman, yes.
Okay, comrades power. Comrades Stephen. So my name is Gideon Kosgei, current President Koitalel Samoei University, as well as Speaker Nandi Youth Assembly. So I stand today to honor the forum that you've brought to Nandi County. I don't want to go as per the way of Kenya that we want, but to say the Nandi that we want, because it's happening in Nandi. So first and foremost, thank our panelists for the great conversation and the big outlines that you've really made. It's been lively. So my question is this. We have somebody called J.M. Kariuki, who once said that he never believed in issues to do with 10 millionaires and then 10 beggars in a society. And we've seen Kenya or our counties heading to the right direction in a perspective whereby the millionaires want now to empower the 10 beggars. In what way? We've seen the issues of taxation brought in. The issues of taxation whereby these billionaires, you've had them complaining, even teachers who are employed. They say the Kenya is now imposing high taxation on our salaries. All this was meant to really achieve or really empower the 10 beggars. But my question to the panelists is, I'm going to direct this question to our incoming women rep, that how is our county going to do? Because we have taxation everywhere in terms of markets, in terms of employment. Those who are employed, they bring out tax. Means we have enough resources in our counties and even in our Kenya to really empower those who are less vulnerable. How is the county or those who are in charge of these revenues going to ensure that these revenues are being used in the right way with a lot of accountability? Because when you talk of accountability, it means leaders taking up the oath to be responsible in the decisions that they made and in the actions that they make. And last but not least, we've happened to be in a county whereby I've had people talking about handouts. We've happened to be in a county level or Kenya. Of course, we want to have that Kenya that is good to affordable health services, affordable education and everything. But the issue comes in here. Whenever we are good to getting into these handouts each and every day, we've seen leaders, they would call you and tell you, oh, why do you want to speculate on me, or why do you want to speak something out of me? And yet, I just sent you 500 shillings yesterday. So you're less to speak the right things because the handouts that you've been given. So how are we going to ensure that we are being patriotic? We're speaking and having the voice of our own nation, having the voice of our own county level, apart from or minus the handouts that we've been given by these leaders, or sidelining all the handouts that we've been given by this leader. I believe by so doing, we're going to have the county that we want. We're going to have the Kenya that we want. Be blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Not to forget, let me also use this forum. Previously, KUCCPS did their placement. I just want to take this opportunity to welcome all the first years that they were located to Koitalel Samoei University. Koitalel Samoei University is within Nandi County. We have it here at Mosoriot. Welcome. It's a place that you're going to realize your dream. You're going to get up to your talent, and it's part of the sporting center. We really want to take this opportunity to welcome. Yes, the President, Gideon Kosgei, I take this opportunity to welcome you. Welcome to Koitalel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. One last question up Ambele. Yeah.
Thank you. Mine, I'm going to touch on youth involvement, especially on party participation. I have a friend who wanted to vie for an MCA seat sometime back. That was 2022. Being a young person, you understand that perhaps financially you are low. So what happened? His competitors planned something against him. They knew his weakness, that hana pesa. So apparently it was a season like this. So they are always arambe. So they walipiga hesabu wakajua arambe iko hapa leo kesho. So they lined up for a whole week. That is from Sunday to Sunday for him to be a guest in all those arambes. So apparently this young person hakuwa na pesa. So he goes there on Sunday, akapeana 1,000 yake alikuwa nayo. On Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, ikashindikana. Exhaust everything, ameenda hiyo event. Wale wase competitors wake wanapita 10,000, yeye anapita 1,000 ama 500. So what happened on that Thursday, ilibidi amefuliza ya kurudi kwa nyumba hata iko inatosha. And from that day, this friend of mine gave up. He gave up, akasema, kama ni hivi hapana staki. You see, he was demoralized because hakuwa na pesa. And that's how aliacha hiyo, akasema, let me focus on my work and everything, akasare. So my plea to young people, you may be in such a situation. And it's for us as young people, we know what you want. In as much as we are in every political party, I believe in each political party, they have chances for youth. So what we do, let's participate. And when a young person like him comes forward, what do? We stand with him regardless. Tusipime mwanasiasa na pesa, tumpime na kitu ambayo anaweza kutufanyia. So lastly, also to our policymakers and our leaders, let's not see youth as tools to ascend to power. Let's involve the youths in policy making and everything. It's quite so easy because you are heading to elections. It's when you know, how am I going to get this population? Thank you. That's my contribution.
Okay. Oli.
Karibu natufungia nje. My name's Darius Kipchirchir Koech, Emeritus President, the Great Eldoret National Polytechnic. You've asked us to ask you questions, so don't rush. We still have some few here. I just want to go direct. You've talked so much about policies, and I want to ask you this question. Because I know most of us here are tertiary students, maybe technicals, vocationals, and universities. As a young leader, what commitment can today's leaders make to ensure that youth voices are not only heard during consultations? What commitments can today's leaders make to ensure that youth voices are not only heard during consultation, but also reflected in national policies and implementation? Policies and implementation. 2. Because this one I've come across, I myself, what role should a student leader and institution should be given to play in shaping Kenya's future? Because those are the young leaders that we believe are those student leaders also that are in colleges. What role should student leaders and institutions given to play in shaping Kenya's future? Lastly, I want to encourage all of us. You've talked about registering political parties. I want to assume this way, or ask this way. How sure are we that these political parties can also be true to us? Or what can make us trust these political parties? Let me use, for example, my friend echoed a question and used an example of Nandi's constituency. There is somebody who won in UDA party as the MP of Nandi's constituency, but a certificate was given to a different person. Now, how are we going to trust that even if we have a young leader, because you've told us the only way to change Kenya is to make sure that we vote also for young leaders to be in parliament. If today we decided to vote for Noelin Maru, then the certificate is granted to a different person. And pretty sure to win an election in Kenya is, if you don't win in nomination, it is over. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Thank you so much. My names are Kimgeti Kevin, the current student leader at the Eldoret National Polytechnic. I have only some few questions to the panelists. That what are the specific actions are we going to use in order to make all youths in Nandi County, so that we shall have a county and a Kenya that we all desire. The second one, what are the technology and innovation are we going to use to solve and create the employments of the youths that are in Nandi County? Because to participate, we are in a Nandi County chapter. I want again to say, what are we going to use in order to encourage our youths in order to join the political parties? I, for example, have joined a political party. We want to encourage again our youth to join for a political party. Because I want to challenge, in my institution I am always a man with challenges. And I used to challenge boys during our debate. Because they have talked about the handouts, because politicians used to say handouts are the sitting allowance. So I want to challenge our parliamentary incoming in the year 2027 that don't fear to give out a sitting allowance. That one will make you to run the position of women representative in Nandi County. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin.
May God bless you.
Mr. President, I think I'll need one lady after Mr. President. So she'll be the one, then we can close.
Chamgei Nandi.
1 minute.
Chamgei Nandi. Abwati ale kimite Nandi. Ako cham kelen ya mabaibai senge ko mabaibai senge. Ya ngalale ngalekab political parties. Ketaune koron yep kayo metolejine jojoinen jun pasang kerichone nyo ko UDA. Mami kege. Otherwise swali nenyu netai, my first question is this. Mr. Nani umongelea about the political parties. What are they, according to you, ne strategies tegerele kararan kebaishe sikobit kerichen these youths ko register in political parties? Akiam, my last question, as a comrade would say, kama si handouts tutakula nini? Otherwise, ameje sitonga laji kapsa yep Nandi wa mwingen komakichuleyo kojenge kekwepse bunge niking UDA dap koit parliament kwai mume ko yenguni kaikashinga lalweje nyuketar kerizone nyo kechil kengip keiton kakip biik che qualified. Otherwise biik che organize ni this event ameje akon one suggestion kityongo. Nagere this event koma cover crowd nikakimeche biik che kakitaketani ko ka youth ngirangot biik ing matia youth oye ameje otyem o create something nekilen partnership with the institution. So bwana institution chechok nyo ngalalwech amu sai kainyoru biik kidogo. Biik chap ko register ni ko 20 nyut kap ko register political parties. Lakini neranik chok chekitindoi ing sang nyun kwata. Ngoni ing samen yo kityongon ameche owal your strategies akobwa kapsa obwa kebirge eng ground kityongon nikengalal chechok ketet chechok akekany kobaibait senge ngip kele makekom yakanyopchirche mabaibai senge. Otherwise ngobererok Mungu kongoi.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. That one lady, then to Funge.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chamgei. My name is Jean Chepto. Okay, my name is Jean Chepto, and I'm from Mosoriot. First, I want to comment about what my friend there talked about: education giving you knowledge. As a young person, if you graduate and you're not able to solve a problem, you're not able to employ yourself in the community, then I can comfortably say that that education did not help you. Sharon talked about how she runs her CBO right now, and she said that if she had not gone to campus, she would not be running it the same way, and it's true. My business partner always uses this example. Someone who finished high school can decide that I want to open a business of maybe selling vegetables. But as a graduate, you can decide that I'm going to be supplying in all of Mosoriot. You're able to think broadly and you're able to solve a problem. And we are in a community that is full of problems. So just identify a problem and start a business. Don't say that you don't have capital. An idea always funds itself. Okay, so my questions to the panelists. Running for for a leadership position is not free. Campaigning is not free. So what opportunities exist inside political parties for a young person who wants to run for a leadership position but does not have the financial resources? And then my last question, I'm going to address it specifically to the incoming woman representative. If there's one thing you could change about the Kenyan political party system, what would it be from an aspirant's perspective and for someone sitting down here? What is that one thing you would change about the Kenyan political party system? Thank you.
Thank you so much. So back to the panelists. The questions are a lot. So, we have two women rep aspirants here. So, ukiongea on address wote wawili. So, Noeline, you'll be the first one to respond. I'm giving you a maximum of 3 minutes each. Try to manage those 3 minutes. Thank you.
I feel this session is the most interesting part, and I'm going to answer one by one according to venye nimenote. Hapa ni kufungua roho na kusemezana ukweli, si ndio? So nitaanza na ile swali ambayo mtu aliuliza, the current government, okay, this is non-partisan, but we give flowers where it is, we talk the way it is because tuko hapa kufunguliana macho. Goliath alisema kuwa the current government hakuna job. Si amesema hivyo? But according to this conversation, kama mtu alinisikia nikisema, tulisema we as young people, we should move from the point of complaining to the point of giving solution to the problem ambayo tuko nayo. The currently government kulikuwa napeana grants ya Nyota program. How many of the young people took part waka apply and it was free and fair? Haikuwa inataka ujue unatoka kwa nani, unatoka wapi. It was free. How many took part on that? Currently we have technical schools, but utapata kuna youth wako nyumbani hawataki kujoin. What is your role as young people making sure umejoin to acquire that skill? Because nowadays kupata certificate after university is not enough. The current market needs what can you offer? What problem can you solve? Problems are a lot venye kuna mremba ameongelea hapa. What can you solve as a person? Hiyo tunafaa kujiuliza kama youth. Swali nikasema ni change doesn't start from outside. Change start with you. When it comes to issues of employability, I think we have what it takes. Ni sisi tu tujitume kama vijana. Swali kakuja kwa schooling bado nitasema. We don't go to school for jobs. As much as our current school system iko natuambia tusome tuje tupate kazi, si ni ukweli? But the current trend is we go to school to acquire knowledge, and how we use that knowledge after school, that is wisdom. So, nikasema tena, a Form 4 dropout can employ a degree holder because on the wisdom that we have. We as young people, we need to turn that knowledge equal wisdom na itupe pesa. Na tukasema tena, if there is no job, we should create job. Biashara si kitu ambayo inataka connection. Biashara si kitu ambayo inataka unatoka kwa nani. It need your energy and time. And as young people, we have energy, we have time. It is us to change that energy and time into currency. And also, to start a business, it doesn't need capital. It just need an idea. For example, MCA ama governor kikuja hapa, what is the first thing you will ask as young people? Sitauliza fare. But we as creative young people, we should have an idea. If you don't have idea, kufandiwa ni rahisi sana. So, to solve a problem, you have to start with an idea, sawa? The issues to do with handouts, my friend aliongelea vizuri. Handouts as young people, tuachane kubaiwa pombe, tuache kupoa 50-50. Let us be given something that can yield money. And when you're given something that yield money, that is not handout, that is empowerment. So, for example, bado nitarudia, kama mtu angekuja hapa, tusiulize pesa ambayo inatusaidii, tuombe pesa ambayo inaweza tujenga kama vijana. You rather even stop asking for transport, but say, Mheshimiwa, I have this idea, please help me fund. Mheshimiwa, we have this group, we have this idea, help us fund. Tuko pamoja mpaka hapo. Another question was about the young people. We are the agent of change. na change inaanza na sisi. When it comes to leadership, you feel you want to vie for any position. For us, we are here striving, we have nothing, but because we have that will to serve the people, we are keeping on no matter how hard it is. Enda na pesi yako, usiende na pesi ya mwingine. Wengine wakipeana 10,000, kama uko na 100 wewe peana, kama uko na 10 bob wewe peana. The ambition ni ama watu wataangalia moyo. And if they fail to see that, ni shauri yetu, si ndio? Mtu akakuja kwa hiyo swali ya kusema party, how fair is the party? Okay, during last regime mulichagua mtu but party kapeana certificate kwa mtu mwingine, si ukweli? But the question is, huyo mtu mwenye alichukuliwa certificate alikuwa kwa election? Alikuwa? Did you vote for that person? Why did you not vote for that person, or you had that capacity to vote for that person? Si unaona, to bring the change doesn't start with the party. The bring the change start with you. Na usiende kwa sababu tulisema don't choose political parties because of tribe. Don't choose political party because it is youth led. Don't choose political party junior mtu mwenye unajua. Choose political parties because it represent your interest. I hope all that is answered. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noeline. Asbel, 3 minutes.
Thank you so much. Question number 1 from Benjamin. Inclusivity in political parties. How can we change the minds of the young people to join political party? The way we mobilize ourselves in 2024, tukisema reject and occupy. We can use that same energy to occupy political parties by joining them. Number 2, most of these political parties being registered in Kenya. Ukifuata the Political Parties Act, kuna mahali nasema for a political party to be registered in Kenya, she will have at least officials from across Kenya. Diversity and inclusivity. Again, lazima ukuwe pia na offices in 24 counties. I think it's 24 counties, half of Kenya. Na ukuwe pia na members from 24 counties. So for it to be a political party, that means at least ufike kwa na fulani. So as young people, let's tutumie opportunity ya online to lobby and mobilize ourselves to join party. The last question, I think Goliath and Aluza the same question. The issue of public participation. How many of us normally attend public participation? How many of us? 1? Only 1? Change starts with you and me. In 2021, Nandi County adopted the Open Government Partnership in November 2021. Kuja nyumbani. Commitment number 1 was civic engagement and public participation. That was commitment. Commitment number 2 is open contracting. Allow me to niongelee number 1. From that Open Government Partnership, OGP, I think Muliona Mali Nandi County was awarded number 2 in Estonia some time back. From that act, they formed something inaitwa Public Participation Committee, whereby committee ndio wanakuja kutuongoza to air out our views, maoni zetu, and anything that needs to be done by the county. The same year, kuna pia Public Participation and Civic Engagement Act of 2021. It's a law. Anything difanyike, it should be and must be a law. So being a law, that means unaenda kotini. From that commitment, from that law, inasema, hello, inasema, by 2026, which is this year, all public participation inafaa ifike mashinani, and that is ward level. Sai public participation inafanyika wapi? Public participation inafanyika wapi? We're in Chesume now. We're in Chesume. Chesume kuna ward ngapi? iko na 5 words. Kiptuya, Chimundu Kamgatuny, Kosirai, Kaptel Kamoywa, and Lilmoko Angachek. 5 words. Public participation huwa inafanyika wapi? Ward level, sub-county level, ama county level? Chemundu. Watu wa Lilmoko Angachek, waenda wapi? Chemundu. Sometimes inafanyika ward level. But the act itself inasema nini? Ifanyike ward level. So we have a responsibility pia to follow up. If you don't participate, somebody else will participate on your behalf. Nikikuja kwa niaba ya watu wangu wa nyumbani, nasema yangu and we go. But the numbers determine the input of that document. Tukikuja wengi hivi na tuseme sisi watu wa mahali fulani tumesema tunataka hivi, it will be done. Makueni County and Elgeyo Marakwet County wanafanya yao village public participation. How many villages do you have in our wards, in our location? It's possible. So we have a responsibility kama sisi. You have a solution and I have a solution. Let's merge our solutions and give these people. Most of these people in those offices ni watu wetu. Ni ndugu yako, mwingine ni kazini yako, mwingine nini. We have that opportunity. And the last thing, political parties. This is an open discussion. This is an honest conversation. Non-partisan. We are here to have a honest conversation. You know something that I don't know. I know something that you don't know. We are here to learn, to share. If you are given this position today to sit in this seat, we'll have something to tell us. Let's have honest conversation and meaningful one. Nisaidie tuelimishane, tusaidiane kuelimishana. Learning is a continuous process. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Asbel. Sharon, 3 minutes.
Thank you for the great questions. I'll try to be as brief as possible. I'm glad the one for public participation has been handled. And let me just add one line there that public participation comes to capture your thoughts. If you don't go to that ward level to complain that you want that public participation to go to the village level, those people will continue trying to save funds that would have been used to do public participation in our villages. So it is upon us to go to that one for the ward level. We complain until they realize that this has come from the people and put the right money into public participation that goes down to the village level. I have also received a lot of frustration. Goliath was asking, why is it that now the parties will do a lot of promises, but right now we have seen what you mentioned, that we're exporting people when the promise was to create jobs. And I realized that there's a lot of frustration in the government, and even we are also asking ourselves, all of us are asking ourselves, where did we really fail? Did we overpromise? Do these parties overpromise? Do they make too many plans compared to the resources that are available? And just in my thoughts, if we were to have more honest conversations, like I had mentioned earlier, most of our resources are going to paying debt right now. Sindio, tunalipa deni kubwa sana. Public debt is still very high. So I'm really hoping that when the next governments will be coming to power, we will be more realistic on the promises we make to the youth so that we have less frustrations. The political parties need to mention, if we want to create jobs, we mention the realistic value so that the youth do not feel disappointed. If we are planning to take them to the GAF, we also mention that so that we are more realistic. Ben was asking what can be done to prevent political parties from bringing division. We have the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. Here, we monitor our political parties, and they regulate, they look at how political parties behave, and they have the mandate to even make a political parties pay for, misbehavior. So the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties has been doing a good job. And someone was asking me if I was to change one thing, is to tighten the nuts a bit harder on the political parties. Zero tolerance on hate speech, zero tolerance on corruption, zero tolerance on nepotism, zero tolerance on anything that can create division among the people. So if I was to change one thing, I would ensure that the ORPP, the political party principles, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, hold every leader to account. If you have been elected through my party and you're going to stand there and create division among the people, we reject you. That is one thing that I would really change, so that we are no longer about the personality. If we continue putting up with somebody who brings division, it means we are not about the ideas. It means we are valuing that personality more. So if I were to change one thing, it would be tightening those nuts harder so that we have a better nation, so that we uphold the values of the Constitution of Kenya and realize the vision of the Kenya that we want. Fidel, I'm going to finish. I don't know how I'm going to summarize this one. There's Wakili, there's Gideon, who mentioned on taxation. On the taxes that we are getting from our counties, it still comes back to us going to look at our budgets, taking a keen interest and asking the hard questions. Ask your member of county assembly whether they have looked at the budget well, whether that money is used effectively. Follow that money. Ask the right questions. When these leaders see that we are informed, we are tunatia bidii katika kuangalia budget, having the right information, asking where our money is going, they will fear to misuse our money. Tutie bidii hapo kidogo kwa ask the right questions. Youth involvement, people who want to run. I mentioned about the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. One of the things it does to political parties is to provide minimums, to provide minimum requirements for the youth, minimum requirements for the women. You know, you should give this amount of money for registration of women. Do not, discriminate against the people with disabilities. So it does a good job in ensuring that the interest of the youth, the women and the people with disabilities are taken care of, even financially, in the parties. Strategies for the youth for joining political parties. While resources might never be adequate, and when we do the little that we are able to, like the one we have done today, it's in the faith that this will roll over. You know, you go, you speak to a friend, someone has seen it online, and it creates impact. But going forward, we hope we get more resources so that we come to the institutions, we partner with the student leaders, and tukikaa chini, wakati unasema tusipokula handout tutakula nini, kukwe na kakitu kachai, si ndio? So we are hoping that we get more resources. And as I finish, how do we ensure that the voices and the contributions of the youth in public participations do not just end up at the public participation? I think that question was coming from, I don't know, Wakili. He was asking, how do we ensure they are reflected in policies? It's following up. You know, the person who holds that office is always hoping that you do not speak up, follow up, ask, where did my money go? Did that policy, venye nilisema, ilifika pale mbele, ama this was a rubber stamping event? You know, some of these forums are done for rubber stamping.
Over the microphone. 30 seconds for your closing remarks. Thank you.
マルーンどこだ？
今戻ってるって、ちょっと待ってよ。
マジで遅いな、マルーンな。
ちょっと待ってね。
どれがいいかな。
これで、スキルツリーの方。エッグじゃなくて。 こっちか。
やってるよ。今ボス募集してたよ、なんなら。
俺そもそも何も俺こっちやってないよ。
やる？一緒にやる？
ねえ、まるね。
俺スキルツリーの方何もやってないの。
パーティーが経過なんか別のことやってるかも。
一緒にどう？一戦。ちょろっと行くぐらい。聞いてみよう。
なるほどね。
あと3歩だよ。
うわ
そういうことか。
あと3か。結構ね、来たい人が多いんだよね、こっち。
あ、でも自分のスキルに合ったやつ
来れる人
基本的には。
やってます？
聞いてみるわ。
どうしたね、まる。
あ、
どうしようかな。
まる
そうか、俺こっち一個も開放してなかったんだ。
お嬢久しぶりお嬢
作るより。
屋根から飛んできたって
お嬢何やってんすか。
マルさん、はしごどうします？こう
もらっても。
お嬢も来て、お嬢と丸来て。
ありがとうございます。
いいえ。
ありがとうございます。まあいいか。ぶっちゃけか。なんなら Python 作れるんだよな。あ、ギアってあれじゃないのか。あれこれじゃないんだっけ。増やしてくれんの？あ、いやこれで。早っ。何増やしてくれんの？じゃあその425で俺も聞く。ルートさん、425で。一応ハイキャリ作れるんですけど、
マジっすか？
いや、なんなら Python も作れますね。
Python と多分どっちがいいんだろう、これ結局。
どっちがいいですかね。
なんか Python は、
はい。
射程が短くて、多分距離減衰が激しいのかな。
なるほど。
その代わりレートが高いみたいな。
ほう。じゃあハイキャリの方が良ければこっちも作れますよ。
ハイキャリちょっとできれば1本。
あ、OK です。じゃあ今作りますね。
作ってもらえると助かります。
おりゃ。
助かります。
いえ、よかったわ。作れてよかった。ショットガンってもあるな。
でもちょっと取っといた方がいいかもね。次の銃作るのに取っといてもいいかも。
そっか。これ直せるスキルはないのかな、逆に。
あるはず。エンチャンターのスキルで直せるから。
一旦ルートさんこれこいつ
ここのリペアで常勤で、
これ
このスキル持ってる人が直せるから。
今この下にこれ
了解です。
置いたんで見えます？OK です。
一旦じゃあここ入れとこうかな。
ランさん。
リペア持ってる人いないのか、じゃあ。
俺スキルツリーの方俺一個も開放してなくて。
はい。
何開放したらいいとかあります？テックの方は俺武器なんですけど。テックツリーの方は俺開放してんですけど、スキルツリーの方俺一個も開放してなくて、なんかやった方がいいのとかあります？
スキルツリー何が足りないって言ってたんだっけ？
俺何にも開放してないんで1からなんで。
マルンいないわ。
だろう、エンチャントビルドはでも俺一応今開けていってはいるものの金土日いないから大丈夫かな。
確かに、エンチャントも一人いても良さそう。
レオス君が多分エンチャントやってるんだよね、多分。一人いてもいいのかな。
OK です。じゃあ自分
ファームは誰がやってるんだ？
ファーマーはヒカちゃんと
僕もファームに一応振ってる。スキルツリーも。テックツリーはエンチャントの方に振ってる。
この食中毒無効ってやつがいいらしいよ。
あれ
これか。じゃあエンチャントビルドの方がいいっすかね、自分。
ですかね。
もういいかも。
OK です。じゃあ、俺ここ開けてっちゃいますね。
はい。